People call him the most beautiful man in human history. Not the most charismatic, not the most stylish, beautiful, like a work of art, like a mistake nature made and then just decided to keep. And here's the thing, the fans weren't exaggerating. Today we are talking about Atsushi Sakurai, lead vocalist of the Japanese rock band Gothic, a man who somehow looked exactly the same at 57 as he did at 27, and about the phenomenon he created, not just through his music and his voice, but simply through his existence. J-rock is Japanese rock music, but it's not just rock with a Japanese accent. In the late 80s and 90s, Japan developed a completely unique genre called Visual Kei, literally visual style. Bands in the scene went all in on both music and image, heavy makeup, elaborate costumes, theatrics, provocation. Think glam rock meets gothic meets Japanese kabuki theater. If America had David Bowie, Japan had thousands of him. And among all of them, one man was the undisputed champion of pure, raw, almost unfair physical beauty. Gothic were there at the very beginning of that movement, and the vocalist, Atsushi Sakurai, became its living symbol. Atsushi Sakurai was born on March 7, 1966, in Fujioka, a small provincial city in Gunma Prefecture. Not Tokyo, not Osaka, nowhere glamorous. He started out in a cover band, playing songs by a Japanese punk group called the Stalin, named directly after Joseph Stalin. In 1980s Japan, that name was pure chaos, pure provocation. The band chose it specifically because it was a name people hated. They wanted to cause a scene, and it worked. And here's the kicker, Sakurai wasn't the singer, he played drums. When the original vocalist quit, Sakurai volunteered to take his place, the drummer who decided he wanted to sing. By December 1985, the lineup was set, and that was Gothic in the form the world would come to know. Then came 2 years of grinding, small clubs, provincial venues, building a sound. Some nights they played to literally one couple in the audience, zero sign of what was coming. But they kept going, they recorded a self-released single. They started conquering Tokyo, one small club at a time. On September 21, 1987, Gothic made their major label debut, and right away they were doing things differently. Their first release wasn't a single, it was a live concert video in 1987 that was basically unheard of. The band hit the Japanese mainstream like a freight train. Spiked hair, heavy eyeliner, dark aesthetic. Japanese youth had never seen anything quite like it. Over the next 2 years, albums, tours, a growing army of fans. Gothic weren't just a popular band, they were a sensation. And then the first crisis. In April 1989, guitarist Imai Hisashi was arrested for LSD use. The entire band was banned from performing. 6 months of forced silence. This is the moment most bands fall apart. The scandal, the shame, the career-ending press. Gothic chose differently. On December 29, 1989, they walked onto the stage of Tokyo Dome, Japan's Madison Square Garden, for a concert called Bakuchiku Gensho, the Gothic phenomenon. A comeback show after the ban, sold out. Legendary night. The Japanese press said that afterward, the band didn't just survive, they came back bigger. Okay, we need to stop here, because you can't talk about Atsushi Sakurai without talking about his face. That sounds shallow. It is, until you actually look at the photos. Japanese fans gave him a title, the strongest, most transcendent beauty in the history of humanity. Not handsome rock star, not pretty good-looking guy. And here's what genuinely bizarre. Fans compared photos of him from 1993 and 2023, 30 years apart, and couldn't find the difference. He simply didn't age. Literally. One Japanese blogger wrote that his beauty made every other conventionally attractive person on those world's most handsome man lists look completely ordinary by comparison. No obvious plastic surgery anyone could point to, no mixed heritage being cited as explanation. Just this is what one human face apparently decided to look like. 177 centimeters tall, dark hair, fair skin, sharp features, his voice a baritone with warm lows and unexpectedly delicate falsetto. His nicknames, Ah-chan, the affectionate fun name, and Mao, Demon King, or Prince of Darkness. The second one wasn't just cute, it was a nod to something beyond normal human scale. Music critics noted that his stage presence was almost deific, unapproachable, like something from another dimension. And yet offstage, by every account, he was quiet, warm, and treated everyone as an equal. Sakurai was a living argument against the phrase beauty is subjective, because people across completely different cultures, Japanese, European, American, all stopped and stared. But Sakurai wasn't just a beautiful package, that's important. In 1991, he married a stylist. They had a son, but the marriage ended after a year, and custody went to the mother. Sakurai raised his son from a distance. That son would later become a celebrated Japanese novelist and winner of the Akutagawa Prize, which is basically Japan's equivalent of winning the Pulitzer. In 2004, Sakurai remarried. A private ceremony, no details made public, just a message on the Bactic website. Atsushi Sakurai has married with gratitude and love for everything around them. Musically, Bactic kept moving. They never got trapped in one sound. Dark post-punk to industrial to electronic to acoustic, every few years a new direction. In 1996, while on a photo shoot in Nepal, Sakurai suddenly collapsed with acute peritonitis. Emergency evacuation back to Japan. Hospitalized immediately. After recovering and returning to the stage, he grabbed the mic and told the crowd, "I came back upgraded." That's his whole personality in one line. In 2001, he joined an international project called Schwein, German for pig, alongside members of the cult Western industrial acts Pig and KMFDM. A Japanese visual kei vocalist in a European industrial supergroup. Even for him, that was a curveball. In 2004, 17 years into his career, he released a proper solo album, followed it up with solo concerts at NHK Hall, one of Japan's most prestigious venues. In 2015, a new solo project, The Mortal, different aesthetic, different sound, same unmistakable voice. By this point, Bactic had been together for 30 years. Most of their peers from the 80s had either broken up or become nostalgia acts. Bactic was still putting out new records, still selling out tours. In his final years, Sakurai didn't slow down. In 2019, he appeared on Music Station, Japan's biggest music TV show, alongside Shiina Ringo, one of the most critically acclaimed Japanese artists of her generation. They performed a duet, Bactic's first appearance on that program in 24 years. In 2022, he launched his own weekly radio show on FM Kokoro, live every Friday night. In April 2023, Bactic released their 21st studio album, Izora. Later, Sakurai said in an interview that he had approached it with a sense of finality, as if he somehow knew it would be the last. At the time, it felt like just another poetic thing to say. On October 19, 2023, Atsushi Sakurai walked out onto the stage of KT Zep Yokohama for a fan club concert. He sang the first song, then the second. After the third, Zekkai, he stumbled. His bandmates and security surrounded him and escorted him off the stage. He was rushed to a hospital in Yokohama. At 11:09 p.m. that night, Atsushi Sakurai was pronounced dead. The cause, a brainstem hemorrhage. He was 57 years old. The death was announced publicly 5 days later on October 24th. His family had already held a private funeral. No press, no cameras, close relatives only. The reaction was immediate and global. Social media flooded within hours. Fans gathered outside venues across Japan. Flowers, photos. A public memorial was held later. A devoted fan who had followed the band for 30 years stood outside the venue and said, "I feel like the concert is about to start." His bandmate Imai wrote on his personal Instagram, "I wanted to play guitar by Ah-chan's side forever, but well, we'll keep going, alright?" Atsushi Sakurai is one of those rare cases where beauty and talent don't compete, they work together. 38 years on stage, 23 studio albums, one voice, one completely inhuman face, and a legacy that keeps growing because every day someone new finds a backtick video, stops scrolling and thinks, is this a real person? Yeah, he was real, and if you haven't seen him yet, go and see. Bye bye.